No, all right. The thing I like about P Diddy is what he brings out of the artist, and what I mean is like he pushes and brings the best out of it. It's not necessarily the beats that he make or anything like that. I really do not care for some of the beats he makes, especially some of the songs that he was on that he did rapped on or whatever.
Amen.
But when he's in the studio, if you look at some of the videos when he's in the studio and when he's producing the artists on pushing them and if this didn't sound right on the sound he's trying to get, because you got that vision of what you want. That's usually what a producer has. A lot of time the artist can't necessarily see the vision. It's just like a director and an actor in a movie. The actors are the actors in the movie, but the director has the vision.
Right.
They don't necessarily always film the movie in the order that we see it in the final product. They film it in different kind of sections due to the weather or whatever, however way he want to do it. But the director has the final vision.
Yeah.
So he knows what it's going to look like. So same as a producer, he knows what the sound of what we're looking for or what he's looking for. The artist might not necessarily see it at that time, so he's trying to get that out, and in that final product, they see it, you know? So not necessarily all producers don't always get out of the artist what they can because they don't always put that effort to put in. It's just like, all right, record it. All right, you think that sounded good? All right, cool, whatever. But no, if this don't sound like how you want it to sound in the end, redo it.
Exactly.
Push it, or do this, or try this. You know, we had that a couple times in the album. Hey man, hey, how about do this? Do a little hums in the background. Do a little of this. You know, it'll kind of bring it out. So it's little stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing.
And
about
my
Diddy.
laughing at Diddy, I don't mean to take anything.
It's just funny because he said,
No,
It's just
no.
like,
Shout out Diddy.
nah,
Look,
hey.
Diddy sees this.
Hey,
Look,
shout
man,
out love, bro.
I hope
Shout
you
out
heard
love.
everything that I said.
Buddy Love?
That I
Yeah,
just
Buddy
said
Love.
about what you
love,
said.
You should have called him
Shout
Puff.
Yeah, Puff.
Oh yeah, but love. Is it love now?
Yeah, he
love.
I don't know, dude got like 10 days.
10 names, P. Diddy, Puff
Yeah.
Daddy, Dirty Money, whatever.
So,
But being that we from, South Louisiana, and you guys said that y'all were inspired by R&B and more so pop music, how is that trying to push your music knowing that we're surrounded by people who like, drill rap or hip hop or bounce music, club music? Like, how do y'all kind of set yourself apart from that?
I will say, and I mean I'll let you speak on on how you're writing and everything. But as for like the music aspect, it's more of because how I look at it is, it's almost get to a point where a lot of the songs sound the same. Same sound, same subject almost.
Mm-hmm.
And one, there's no reason why every artist has the same subject. Everybody has a different story. You talk about something that's real in your life, the song should be different.
Mm-hmm.
Two, there's a lot of people that I hear it's like, hey man, look man, I don't really care for this artist, I like this artist, but I do listen to this person because that's all they got. That's all there is that's out there. They like that. They don't necessarily like it, but they listen to the music because that's what's there. And the whole purpose of what I think of trying to bring is putting another option out there. Another option on the table.
Right.
Like, okay, look, you may not like this, but here's another option for you. It's like a buffet. Buffet, somebody go and it's just chicken and chicken, baked chicken here, fried chicken right here, chicken nuggets, it's gonna get everything's just chicken. But here I am, here's a salad. Just in case you don't want the chicken. Here's fish right here, just in case you don't want that chicken.
And another thing with that, to add on to what you said, like, that'll sometimes take relocation too. Because you might say, like, you guys have your own sound down here, and you can't force people to listen to that. But if you might go to this city or this state, they might love it and embrace you with open arms.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I'm glad he said that because you know what? That's the challenge that we're willing to take on. Because the challenge about that is, and you hear that a lot, is when somebody's trying to do a certain sound, they have to leave, especially Louisiana. Got to leave Louisiana to go to Atlanta, or go to Miami, or go to Houston, because they get more support in those places. And it's unfortunate, and that's what we kind of said too. It's like, man, why not do something here where we could get what people that's here instead of them have to leave to do it here. And there's so many times I've heard, and when we started the independent label Premax Records, there was so many times that I heard this like, man, it's not gonna work because everybody's leaving town because there's nothing here. Like, why do it here? I mean, you don't have the sound here. Well, no, the sound is here. It's just that nobody's supporting it here.
Right. So
they have to leave to go somewhere else. Now, yes, why try to start something if it's not working? I believe that doing something different is going to be a challenge at the beginning.
Right.
The first person to dunk in the NBA, it was just like, oh, well, as it evolved, it became the prettiest thing, you know? It became pretty, people started seeing it more, but it wasn't a popular thing at first. It was just a jump shot. Then here comes the person dunking the ball.
And you know another thing about support too? You might have people that actually dig your sound, dig your music, but if the majority not saying that they like it, then they gonna keep their likeness, you know, they gonna keep it to themselves.
Yeah, they gonna keep themselves. But the thing is, you gotta have the not to be afraid to still keep, you know, to still, hey, all right, cool, y'all want to keep doing that. But there is a little group. It's a little group that wants something different, and that's gonna like your stuff. And then it starts with the little group. Okay, cool. Look, y'all like this? We're gonna keep pleasing y'all. So if y'all the ones that we're gonna keep pleasing y'all. But at the same time, it's gonna grow steadily. The more, okay, these people over here, okay, why they like this? Let's see what they're talking about. And they listen. They might not like it, but again, you get in at least somebody to understand it's something different. And then when you have people, if people's going against you, that means obviously you're doing something. You're having something for them to go against. So,
and I feel like that's the basis of a lot of things. When it comes to the music game, you see a lot of people when rap first started. Oh, I don't like it. It sounds like this. It sounds like that. When funk first started. Oh, I don't like it. It sounds like this. This is not the way we grew up. Blues started the same way. Like, the way everything was set up was made to have a different impact on people. And so when it's always going to start off rough. It's always going to start off rugged. But I feel like the more you innovate, the more you do for who you're doing it for, the more they'll appreciate it and pass it on down to the next, and then pass it on to whoever is listening, and pass it on to people that'll take that and run it across the country, and eventually that'll grow its own little pattern.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Because I see people all the time. Like, I see right now, drill is the wave. I see people right now doing all kinds of stuff that sound like what NBA YoungBoy came out with when he dropped his first album. Right. Or when people up in the Midwest, they was just dropping nothing but this flibbity-hibbity Tech 9 sounding stuff. And I'm over here like, well, why don't we just make our own sound? If we make our own sound, if we go by our own lyrics, if we give people what people want, or give people what they don't know they want, but they need. And I feel as though it's easy to intake.
And to add on to what you said too, I feel like, and then with music comes marketing too.
Oh yeah. And
you also, like, I feel like to be a successful artist or engineer, you need a target audience.
Yep.
Like if I'm singing R&B, my target audience might be single women in their mid-30s or early 20s. But like this dude, he might make drill music. His target audience is crazy-ass little boys that run around toting guns.
Hey,
so you got to have that target audience too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true. The target that you're going for, but it's the one thing about, and that's special, crazy, that's special about music. Music can bring, the right kind of music can make anybody. It's just, for example, they always say, old school music is never gonna die. Old school, no matter you young or old, what song you gonna always hear? You gonna always hear like a Michael Jackson song at a wedding or something like that. There's no way, youngsters and old likes that, And funk music, old school. Because you know why? Because old school music is still played in commercials.
And I can also
And it's
argue
old
this
music. So there's certain music
Yeah,
that hits everybody. That's something about music. Now, yeah, there are different kinds and different age groups, like for sure.
Well, yeah, but even then, it's like there's still that certain branch, like of music and different artists in each section of those, like that specialize in music that people just hold on to naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got Michael Jackson transition through 4 decades non-stop dropping hits. You had people like Drake, you have people like J. Cole and Kendrick. They're dropping nothing but bangers in hip-hop that everybody messes with. Like I ain't never heard somebody sit back and say something objectively bad about all 3 of them outside of the repetition on Drake's part. But even then, it's like the way it is.